there. So I'm coming to you live tonight. Some of you may find this after the fact, and if so, I will answer any questions you have in the comments area. While I'm recording, I cannot see my computer screen, so I will check every so often and see if I need to answer anything. But we're going to see if we can't access this from the cell phone at the same time. So I have a 3D flyer that I've been working on, and I'll turn the camera down to show you that in a second. There it is. Okay. Doesn't want to play it. All right, so turning the camera. So what you see is one of my newest creations. It is an original design by myself, and it is of a budgie or a parakeet, whatever you choose to call it. So from the pattern that I've drawn, you can see that I have connection points, and all my patterns have these connection points mapped out for you already. I usually try and build them to make sure that everything is workable and you don't have to stress. So the first thing we're going to do is grab a roll of 20 gauge galvanized steel wire and my cutters. So find the ends there somewhere. Can be a bit of a trick. I'll get the other one. This is a bit thicker. It's a 19 gauge. And I just need a length of it. So I like to use my angled needle nose pliers a lot. And I'm going to make a U. I need 4 of these in total. Wire likes to take off across the room on you. And these are going to be how the wing is secured. Okay, so from the pattern, these are going to go on here. I like to put these on last, and I'll show you why in a second. Make yourself a spring of wire by wrapping it around the end of a fat screwdriver and then you can cut off to make your jump rings. I have them already made. And I need 4 of these, 2 on each side. I also need 1 down here so that my mobile will work. So I'm just going to flux those areas and get them ready. And while I'm at it, if you should download the budgie, I will have it up by tomorrow. I have added restrip. It's hiding in the seam up here as well as the seam here, and this is going to protect the tail. So as we all know, metal likes to hold heat. It's called a heat sink. So you do not want to hold on to the metal while you're trying to solder it. So I have the join of that ring right there, and I'm going to bury that in the seam. I'm also going to add a little bit of solder on the outside of the ring so that it is firmly in place. And fix up any of your solder lines that you mess up while you're working. So again, taking the join of the ring, and burying it right in the solder joint, and then add a little bit to the outsides of the ring just to give it a little bit more of a firm grasp. So we're going to flip it over and do the other 2. It's going to move pretty fast now once you have the main sections, the stained glass portions done. Of course, my cat's going to decide to talk. Now this can be a bit of a trick, so help yourself by finding some sort of a gadget that you've got. These are just cardboard inserts. And this allows me to work on the other side being flat. All right, so those are now in place. Set that aside. You're done with that for a minute. And we're going to make sure first that we have our wings in place and the right way around. So this one goes on this side, and you'll notice that this line is not straight, and that's okay. So leave yourself about a ½ inch of space Get your flux going on there. It's a bit difficult to hold it up. Now remember that wire is going to get hot. So I have the two H or two U shapes on there. I'm just going to bend it straight and then using a second set of little pliers, I will bend it back. You can adjust the length of the top of the U here as you need to for your solder lines. Okay, the fun part. Make sure you've got it on the right way. I'm just putting that U shape right inside, right in there like that. So grab your pliers and pinch that down, turn it right on top of your solder line. Adjust it if necessary and secure it. Fix the other side. You'll kind of want to have a few hands. So figure it out and make your tools work for you. Okay. Just bury that right in the seam. Hold your body away a little bit, and you can clean up any bobbles that happen on the bottom. Now here's something that I like to do, is turn it up this way. Keep the ring hinge away from you, away from your fingers, and touch the inside there. There's no possible way that this can come undone. There it is. So it now flies. Almost, but crooked. So I have to do the other side exactly the same way. I'm just going to check and see if there's any comments you need me to answer. Well, it seems we have quite the grouping. Oklahoma and all kinds of places. Okay, so again, make sure this is the saddest part. You get it all together and your solder joints are beautiful, and then you find out you've got one upside down. Don't do it. So make sure you've got the proper side up. I like to put the securing hinge on the top so that it's nice and neat. By the looks of it, my regular group of followers is all online. I know a couple of people that have had a sneak peek of this while I was drawing it and getting it working. They're already chomping on the bit for the pattern. Get down there. There we go. Everybody can see okay? Look at that. We have a bird. Hi, Brandon. Okay, so you're going to want to hold the ring part of that U and then turn it in. And turn the other one in. Now this is where it's going to get a bit tricky, because this is going to want to move all over the place. You're going to yell at it. I can't because I'm on camera. And only Brandon knows that I yell at my shop. Make sure your fingers aren't directly underneath where you're soldering. Kind of hurts a little bit. All right. So again, you're going to want to watch out for those rings. Hold it up and get inside on the round part of that U hook. We have a fully hinged budgie. So now we have to add the rings on the wing tops, and this is going to allow us to hang the strings from. Well, you let Huey know and Gilbert know that all those pictures that I took of them are not for naught, and they have their own 3D flyers coming. Hopefully I'll have them ready for the Art on Main. And for those of you that don't know Huey and Gilbert, they're very near and dear to my heart. A parrot and a cockatoo. Okay, so you're going back to your pattern here. We've done these. I still have to do this one down here. And I have to put the flyers on the wings. You may end up adjusting these after. Maybe you don't like the amount of play. Maybe you want more play. It's up to you. So you want one on the inside, so roughly about here. And no, Jane, it doesn't look I don't make it look easy. It is easy. And you want another one back down here. That's going to create the two distances in the wing. So rinse and repeat. Need to do this side. You want to get them as accurate as possible to each other so that your tension is exact. Make sure you count how many feathers are between the outside and where your ring goes. Trust me, I know this from practice. Hush. Hello. All right, so of course you're going to clean this as you're working. You want to clean those spots. I like to use baby wipes, just regular baby wipes, which is going to get the flux off the immediate area. And then I'll clean it properly after, but for the purpose of not spending all night doing a video, so we wouldn't want to bore anybody. I don't like the way that one's attached, so I'm going to fix it right now. Okay, Fraidy cat. So just move things out of your way as you're going along. This is going to be the weight. I can't even keep up with you. You're all talking about my patterns. Yes, there's a red-tailed hawk pattern. So a pattern is just a guidelines. Yes, I drew it. This is the way I'm building it, and I'm showing you how to build it. But you know what? It's yours. You bought it. So you go ahead and you build it the way you want to. Make it yours. I'm going to attach these guys together. What I've done is done the glass, and I've added a piece of twisted wire to form the, whatever you call it, it's actually a feeder of, like a vein for the blood, and that's what goes into the feather, or from the body. So I want to hide this join here, and we all know the rule of 3 points of contact. Yeah, that's going to stick out there a little bit. Due to the slope, I really shouldn't turn this any which way. So I'm going to just stick him right there. Shush up. And I'm going to solder that together. This is just tack solder. You want to do any point that joins, tack it together. Clean it up, make it look nice. Make it look on purpose. And get that baby wipe in there. Clean up your spots. This goes with anything that you do that's three-dimensional, because guaranteed you are going to miss one when you clean it after it's assembled. So here goes the other one. I'm going to attach here. And one down there, and one right there. Okay. I'm going to grab another jump ring. Close up that loop. Add the flux. And I want it to go right in there. So we're pretty much hiding the jump ring among the veins there. Make sure you do a good job of that, because it's the part that's going to be swinging around in the wind. If you put it outside, you cannot control how fast the wind is going if you're not home to rescue your flyer. Okay. So we're done with the soldering. Move your iron out of your way. Move your flux out of the way. So I'm not going to give you the exact lengths of the wires, because I'd be cutting my own nose off. I sell these kits online, and in that kit comes a, oh, we're not done with the solder. In that kit comes with a full kit to make your flyer, but it also has an instructions sheet that tells you exactly what's in the kit, because I know full well you'd only measure it and make your own anyway. So we're not done with the soldering iron. I still have to put the ring on the bottom to hold onto the feathers. I see another connection spot, so I'm just going to do that while I'm thinking about it, because I can't see you all telling me about it when I go to assemble this after. You notice I'm not being very gentle, because it's put together properly. You want this to stand up outside, then being gentle in your studio, kind of counterproductive. Okay, so first I'm going to attach one of my long wires. You put the crimp bead on first. You loop it through the jump ring and back up. Hold on to the tail. You see that there? I'm going to hold on to that little tail and pull the long part down. And you'll do this 2 or 3 times, because it's going to let go on you. Slippery. So you want about 1/4 of an inch, and then use your crimp pliers and make sure that that is crimped well. Let go, crimp it higher. So leave him there. Take your other long wire and do the same thing on the other side. Put your crimp bead on, feed it through that jump ring, grab hold of the tail, and pull back on the long one, leaving about 1/4 of an inch. Crimp hard. Let go, crimp higher. So these 2 wires are now holding up my flyer. Take my dowel. Keep this straight over there. Feed it through the dowel. Make sure it's not looped over top or being weird on you. You're going to put the crimp ring on the other end. Into your jump ring. Feed it back through the crimp ring. Hold on to the tail and bring it back down to about 1/4 inch. Crimp, let go, higher, crimp again. Now this is really important because those crimp rings do not come off. Make sure that you don't have them crisscrossed or underneath. You want to do this on the exact same side. So these two holes should be on the horizontal instead of the vertical. Feed through this side and come out the other side. I'm going to set it in front of me. Crimp ring. Feed the wire in. Back up through that crimp ring. And pull back. He now flies. All right. So set him down there. We need another length of that wire. We need another U shape. I'm just going to check the feed on the camera. One sec. Now here's where you get to choose. How do you want him to hang? Because your wires are not crimped up here at the top, some instructions will tell you to crimp it up there. This gives you free range of putting your weight down here on this seam or up here, and that's going to create a different angle for your bird for the weight. So I'm going to put one right on the bottom of his belly here, right there, and that's going to leave him flying fairly straight. And I saw your comment, Jane. The paintbrush, yes. This is just a dollar store cheapie. Oh, isn't this precious? Look at all that. All my jump rings have now magically looped themselves to my string. Once you get both sides of this one on, it will not move, so clean up your solder joints. You don't want this to be any more visible than necessary. It's right in that seam, so don't you worry none about it. There we go. So look after that flux. Now, we're going to take one of the short lines and do the exact same thing. But down here, on that U hook that you just put in, there's about to be some noise. I do believe that somebody from the house is coming into my studio. Make sure that this is really fastened on there. Last year at the art show, a wee sweetheart grabbed hold of my Blue Jay and pulled the bottom, the weight right off. Now once I get this wire and then the next one on, I'm going to move the camera so I can hold this up and you can see it. Okay, so you've got 3 of the wires on. The last one goes actually up here. You're going to feel like you are controlling a marionette at this point. Working backwards here is not helping myself. And then the last one. Remember, those are horizontal, so this one is going to pull straight up. It does not matter if you put the crimps, one on the left side and one on the right side, it doesn't matter. So long as they're not looping any other wire. Okay, so our 3D flyer is done. I'm going to move the camera now and hold him up so that you can see him. Way up. Hi. Now as you pull on the weight, or the weight moves in the wind, he should fly. So if he's not working right, hang him up onto a hook so that you're not influencing, and you may have to adjust where your rings are on here. So I'm going to hang him up on a hook and make sure that he's proper, and then I'm going to use enamel paint and put his details on. And maybe tomorrow after I get home from work, he'll be ready with a short little clip up on the website. So thanks for watching. I enjoyed it. Take care.